Alright, so we're the elementary math group, and we're going to go over the measures of central tendency. And we'll discuss what those are. I'm Colton.
I'm Jacob. I'm Chris.
And I'm Megan.
Alright, first off, what do you know? Does anybody know what the central measures of tendency are? Does anybody have any idea what they are? We're learning about this in math, so everybody should at least have an idea.
Middle of something?
Yeah. I heard it back then.
Median mode.
Yeah. Can anybody describe what they're used for? Like an application to like real life?
Grades.
Trying to take the average score for a class, a test.
Used to like summarize data or information.
Yeah. Alright, so this is just a video that's going to introduce you kind of what this whole thing's about. It's kind of corny.
They are the mean, median, mode, and range. Now I'm going to get A's. D in little mode is most. Range is the difference of the high and low. The mean is just another way of averaging. I'm gonna get A's. The first thing you do when you get that number set, you order least the greatest before you forget. It'll make doing your math so easy. To find the mean, the first thing that must be done is you add up all the numbers and calculate the sum and divide it by its quantity. Yes, I'll solve it, I'll solve it, I'll solve it 'cause I can. Today I learned mean, median, mode, and range. Now I'm going to get A's. Median, middle, mode is most. Range is the difference of the high and low. The mean is just another way of averaging. I'm gonna get A's. It's really easy to find the median and mode. One's the middle number and the other appears the most. There really isn't too much math to do. Unless there's an even amount in the set. You average middle numbers and then you finally get an answer that will be your median. Subtract the low from the high and you'll have the range. They are the mean, median, mode, and range. Now I'm going to get A's. D in little mode is most. Range is the difference of the high and low. The mean is just another way of averaging. I'm gonna get A's.
It's just the cool teacher.
There's another video playing. I think we have one.
Alright, so the first one is mean, and that's what I'm going to cover. The mean is the average of the data set. You calculate it by adding up the sum of the data. So I'll just do an example on the board. That'll be the easiest. Can everybody see right here? Like we've got right here. So in order to find the mean of these three numbers, you add them up so you find the total. So 5 plus 3 plus 4, which equals 12. And then you divide it by the number of in the set, so the numbers in the set. So 1, 2, 3, so you go 12 divided by 3. So the average of the set would be 4. And this is really good if you're like us as future teachers. If you're trying to find like the average of what your like the students got on the test, you can do this. You can add up all their test scores. So if you have 20 people in the class, you'll add up all their test scores, and then divide it by 20. You can find what the average of the test score is to see if everybody got the information, if they know what they're doing, and so forth.
I did median, and so the median is just finding whatever the middle number is in your data set. And this is you can use this as a future teacher to see if a lot of your students, it's kind of like mean if your students are kind of in the middle, if they're doing good on the course, if they understand what they're doing, or if someone is just completely off canter. You got to remember though, when you're finding median, that the data set must be in order. Can I see that? Yeah. Because if you have a data set that's 1, 2, 4, and 8, and 10, your median, you calculate it by just finding whatever the middle is. So what I like to do is, on short data sets like this, I just cover my hand and I work my way in, and so the median is 4. But if this isn't in order, so you have 1, 4, and then 2, 8, and 10, it'll show that your median is 2, which is wrong. So when you're finding median, it's really key to make sure that your entire data set is in order.
Alright, and the mode is the most frequent number in your data set. So the way that I always remembered it, I was taught in elementary school, is the acronym most often data, everyone. So that's always stuck with me. That's just the most often data. So you can see in the example, like in that data set, there's 3 5s, and that's just the most. I mean, there's no other number that comes close to being there that many times. So it's the mode.
Then range is just the difference between the greatest and least value in the data set. So for example, for this one, the greatest was 15, the least was 3, so you just subtract the 2, and you get 12. And that's pretty much just the range. And then so.
Alright, we're gonna need everybody to stand up and come to the front of the room, and you're gonna line up, you go by age, so the youngest people will be here and the oldest people will be there. So just kind of line up and then we'll go through.
June.
Lined up. You guys youngest, assuming? Come back.
You have to do it by day.
Alright, as we go through, we're going to kind of point and you say out your name. We're going to make one big data set and then we're going to find the measure of central tendency.
Your name or age?
Your age. So we'll start right here. Just build this down to this.
18.
Slow.
My turn now?
3 18. Sorry.
Yeah, I got you.
This is my turn now.
Yeah.
19.
19. 19. 21.
23.
23, 24,
25.
26.
26.
27.
29.
Number 4.
Alright. So everyone go back to their tables now.
And everybody write this down on your handout because we're going to be asking questions. Sorry.
Just cut you guys off.
You read last. That way you can. And so everybody kind of go through and we'll give you a little bit of time to find the mean, median, mode, and the range of this data set, and we'll go through as a class, kind of go over it.
have two numbers that occur equally the most?
You know,
There can be more. Yeah, there can be more.
I think we need some spankings down here. Some discipline.
Put 'em in the hall.
Yeah, you're right. I'm sorry. You need to put them in the hall. We're not answering states. Detention, please. They do still paddle in the south where my sister and her teaches. I'm like, oh.
But those kids don't act out.
Remind me to tell you something when the camera's not recording.
That way it's not on video. Alright, is everybody getting close to done? Got at least 2 or 3 of them? Yeah. Alright, first we'll start with mean, which is the one I did. So can somebody tell me what the mean is before we start? Kind of like a review for everybody.
22.8.
Yeah.
What it means?
What's mean mean?
Oh,
The
the
average. Okay,
average.
and how do we find it? How do we find the mean of the data set?
You add all of them together and then divide by the number. So in this case, divide by 22.
Okay, so we're gonna add them all together. I'm just gonna do it on my calculator, so we're gonna write them all down.
While he's adding up all the numbers, I'll just quickly do the range and do recap on what the range is. It's just the greatest value in the data set, which is 34 in this case, subtracted by the lowest value, which is 18, and 34 minus 18 equals 16. So in this data set, the range is 16.
Alright, so what did we get for the total of the data set? Did we throw out a number? Or I put the wrong number on the board, you get one first. Anybody? What'd you get?
491.
Okay, anybody else get that? What'd you get?
Oh,
Did you get that?
yeah, that's
What
what I
was it
got.
again? Say it one more time.
491.
Okay, we got 491. So that's the total, and then in order to find the mean, we take it divided by the number in the data set, which is 22, right? So
Yeah.
divided by 22, so 491 divided by 22 is equal to approximately 22.3. So from when we find the mean, we know that the average age of our class is somewhere around 22. So the average age of our class is 22 years old.
Okay, so what is mode? Someone tell me what mode is, just in general.
Most
How do we find it? What was that?
Most frequency.
Okay, anything else? Alright, it's the most off data. So when we look at our data set, we can see that we have 419s and 421s. So that means our mode is going to be 19 and 21 because at the same month.
And then for median, does anyone remember what median is?
The middle.
Middle, yeah. And so it kind of sucks when you have a bigger data set like this because doing the hand thing isn't as easy. But you can just cross it off the same amount, the beginning and the end. So we'll do it by fives. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then 4, 2, 3, 4. So we're left with 21, 21, 21, and 21. And so we'll work our way in. And so then our last two numbers are 21 and 21. And so when you don't have an even number of data points, you find whatever the middle number is between these two numbers. And so the difference between 21 and 21 is 0. So you add 0 to the first number. So then what's 21 plus 0?
21.
Yeah, so that's our mean, it's 21.